Plus, a confrontation outside a Northampton County convenience store ends with gunfire ringing out on a busy street. And the celebration of the nation's greatest generation returns to Berks County. We'll take you to World War II weekend. Those stories plus the complete AccuWeather forecast with 69 News meteorologist Clayton Stiver, and Johnny Mangano has sports. Good evening. I'm Holly Harrar. 69 News Weekend Edition starts right now. First at 6, state police are investigating a fiery crash that killed 3 people outside the entrance of Nakamixon State Park in Bucks County. Now, those who live nearby say what they saw was horrific. A confrontation outside a Northampton County convenience store ends in gunfire erupting on a busy street of Palmer Township. Police say it all started shortly after 11 last night outside the Wawa on South 25th Street. New Jersey Republicans will decide Tuesday if their candidate to take on Democratic Governor Phil Murphy will be a strong supporter of former President Donald Trump or a well-funded candidate who hardly mentions his name. The group of 7 wealthy democracies have agreed to support a global minimum corporate tax of at least 15% to deter multinational companies from avoiding taxes by stashing profits in low-rate countries. Vacationers, listen up. Royal Caribbean ships are getting ready to sail in the U.S. for the first time in 16 months. And from the seas to the streets, gasoline prices are still holding steady around the nation following the Memorial Day weekend. But drivers are also still paying over $1 more per gallon than they were a year ago. The next park concert is planned for June 26th. Now let's cha-cha over to the Weather Center, where Clayton's got the forecast.
Nothing like some good salsa merengue music on a hot evening.
Good evening, I'm Holly Harrar. First at 10, the latest on the deadly condominium building collapse in South Florida. 9 people are now confirmed dead, and another 150 are still missing as crews continue their frantic search through the rubble. Correspondent Isabel Rosales is live in Surfside with an update. First at 6, another step toward a return to what life was like pre-pandemic. We are just hours away from the Pennsylvania Department of Health lifting the universal masking order, but some places will still be able to require mask wearing. Pakistan's foreign minister says he fears that violence and lawlessness could reign in Afghanistan after the United States military withdrawal. First at 6, 2 shootings in less than 24 hours here in Allentown. We're learning more about that heavy police presence on Gordon Street from last night. Tropical depression Claudette has claimed 12 lives in Alabama as the storm swept across the southeastern U.S. The storm caused flash flooding and spurred tornadoes that destroyed dozens of homes. Well, the number continues to grow. About 45% of the U.S. population is now fully vaccinated against COVID-19. That's nearly 150 million Americans, according to the CDC. And speaking of blessings, here's one. If you missed out on the best milkshakes ever when the Pennsylvania Farm Show was canceled earlier this year, don't worry. The Emmaus Farmers Market has got your back. The PA Dairyman's milkshake truck made a stop at the market today. It's part of the Dairyman's Milkshakes on the Move campaign. They're bringing awareness about all the benefits of local dairy farms while offering sweet treats to families around the state. So, Clayton, milkshake or slushie on a day like this?
I'd go milkshake.
Me too.
Yeah, like a classic malted vanilla shake or something like that.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely a summery day here.
And that'll do it for 69 News at 6. Don't forget to check out our website, WFMZ.com, and download the 69 News app. For everyone here, I'm Holly Harrar. To my dad, Tom, and all the dads working here at 69 News, and those of you at home, happy Father's Day. We'll see you back here at 10.
It's turned into a party here at the Splash Pad on 5th Street. Take a look at some of my friends here having a really fun time, an absolute blast while staying cool. It's the place to be on a day like this. This all stems from an apparent agreement made decades ago with former Montgomery County District Attorney Bruce Castor, who said he would not convict Bill Cosby. The state Supreme Court ruled in favor of vacating the sentence after what it calls a procedural issue. If you ask the homeowners here, they say steer clear of the Haycock Township area if you want to be able to hear yourself think when you walk outside. Take a look at this decibel reader reaching numbers in the low 90s. Now, the CDC says that if you're outside at 94 decibels for 1 hour, it starts the process of hearing loss. The pilot who died at the scene has been identified as 79-year-old Martin Saylor Jr. of Upper Black Eddy. Now, the Doylestown Airport says that Saylor put in a major
mayday call before his plane crashed here in this wooded area less than a mile from the runway. Yeah, Rob, that it is. I thought I'd take a minute to kind of take advantage after watching the kids do it all day. It was the perfect spot for them to splash around, but they weren't the only ones making a splash. Yeah, a lot of mixed reviews today, I gotta say. On one hand, people were elated to step out for the first time in 15 months to grab dinner at a restaurant, but those same restaurants are doing their best to keep up, given so few people on the payroll. Yeah, this house is destroyed, Rob and Wendy. It's really a miracle that anyone made it out of this house alive. A 17-year-old, as we mentioned, was burned and is in the hospital tonight getting treatment. Also, the family lost 2 pets, countless belongings, and are now trying to figure out what to do next. Bill Cosby woke up an inmate at a state prison and will go to bed tonight a free man at his home in Cheltenham Township. This all after a whirlwind of a day for Cosby and his accusers. Bill Cosby's sexual assault conviction was overturned by the state's highest court, and in a matter of hours, he was released from prison. His lawyers escorting him into his Cheltenham Township home for the first time in over 3 years.
Give us a few words. If you have anything to say. Mr. Cosby, how you feeling?
Cosby's release reignited the conversation around the hashtag #MeToo movement and a media frenzy. He was the first celebrity to be charged and convicted during the era.
At the end of the day, this does not remove the justice that they received when a jury convicted him. The facts of this case remain what they were the day that he was convicted.
Despite the Pennsylvania Supreme Court's decision, I want everyone to know that I do believe that this was a very important fight for justice. And even though the court did overturn the conviction, it was on technical grounds. It did not vindicate Bill Cosby's conduct.
Meanwhile, some of Cosby's supporters sounded off in praise of the vacated sentence, like his former Cosby Show co-star Felicia Rashad, who backed up this tweet hours later with support for victims of sexual assault. On the home front, Cosby linked arms with his lawyers as they approached a group of cameras, though Cosby stayed silent.
Well, he is extremely happy to be home. He looks forward to reuniting with his wife and his children. And obviously, this has been a hard 3 years for this entire family.
And Bill Cosby spent 3 years of his 10-year sentence behind bars. Even though he's been released, prosecutors still could appeal this case to the Supreme Court, but they have not yet decided or said whether they plan to do so. In Cheltenham Township, Montgomery County, I'm Holly Harrar, 69 News. Dozens of Moore Township residents packed this fire hall behind me, most of them desperate to somehow ensure that warehouses are not built on Southmoore Golf Course. It's the first time there's been open discussion about this. What was originally set as a planning commission meeting turned into more of an opportunity to sound off.
What about the water issues and the sewer issues?
So we're going to get traffic all hours of the day, waking us up.
I just wanted to know who pays for the road changes.
Residents in Moore Township do not want to see the Southmoore Golf Course become home to warehouses. So much so that Monday's meeting turned into much less of the developers presenting their sketch plan and much more of residents expressing their concerns. Developers heard every last one of them.
We got 33, we got 78. Let them go some other way. Let them find all the, like he said, all the empty warehouses that are in this county. Go pick on one of them. Go buy one of their warehouses. Let us have what we have, our peace and quiet and a nice community.
The sketch shows the warehouses butted up against homes on 512, and they're worried about how this will impact their quality of life.
Dare to be different. Dare to be different for our community and for the people that put our love, our faith, our efforts, our money, and everything we have into the good of this community. Dare to be different.
The proposal I see here tonight has some major hurdles before it would be approved.
Now, as it stands, this planning commission and potentially developers will take what they heard from residents tonight and mull this over for a couple of more weeks. The area is already zoned for industrial use with conditions. In Moore Township, I'm Holly Harrar, 69 News.